So I'm going to be researching how Hellenism influenced Islam for my History of the Middle East class, which is something that I'm already researching, so that works out. So in general, if I'm researching something ultra specific like that, I will refer to the LFCC library, especially if I'm doing online research. If it was something more broad, or let's say more scientific, I would probably look for more broad textbooks, but in this case, I'll be going to the LFCC library. Okay. Generally, I don't necessarily know if this is the best way to do it, but generally I've always gone to Academic Search Complete to begin my research. So, in this case, I'll start by learning just like what broad information I can. So I'll just open up like 3 tabs. So in this case, I'm talking about how Hellenism influenced Islam. So I would just look up Hellenism and Islam, and then I'll put them into the same tab. And I always start with academic journals, but in this case, if I'm going to be studying Hellenism and Islam independently, as I'm doing right now, I would probably also go to the library to do that. So, because in this case, academic journals aren't super helpful, because as I said earlier, they generally cover very specific topics, at least in my experience. So probably the best place to start on Academic Search Complete would be to look at how they coincide, because there's probably more information on that. So here we have international relations between history and the present. This is already one of my sources when I already researched this. So this doesn't necessarily relate to my topic historically, but it relates to it distantly. And I can still glean, how that relationship has developed to the present, even if I am writing a paper on, ancient history. Well, yeah, I don't know why I clicked on that. That is a review. Yeah, in general, I just look for academic journals. I don't normally filter the results as the result of laziness, but in this case I will. So in this case, this is a review, but if the source itself looks like something that would relate to my topic, I would probably, here, I'll just do this anyway. Probably just open up a Word document, and if there's anything that I don't have open that I want to remember for later, I'll just save it in a Word document. So in this case, this seems like it relates pretty closely to my topic, so cultural and linguistic change in the Roman Near East. Normally I would just write this down on my phone so that I can refer to it while I'm standing in the library, but in this situation, just as a demonstration, I'll put it in a Word document. That would have taken me so long if I had my phone. Okay. I'm just going to glance through these real quick because I didn't actually glance through them. I doubt I will find anything necessarily useful here, but actually I think I was a little too broad here because what I'm looking for that's one of the reasons I use Academic Search Complete even when I sometimes am looking for researching broad topics, is because you can, however broad it is, you can still specify it to what you are particularly looking for, and that's very, very useful. Yeah. So in this case, I haven't really found anything, and I don't, well, actually, I've already researched this on Academic Search Complete, and I haven't found anything. So I think in these two particular cases, I would probably go to the library and look for just a broad history textbook on both of those. But in terms of how they both correlate to each other, Academic Search Complete is a much better place to go. And in this case, since I already have this, since I'm already using this source, in this case, if I already know that I'm going to be using a source, or if I read it and I like it, I'll generally just cite it immediately. Yeah, here's something I don't know. There are two citations for Chicago, and I never did figure out which one to use, but I'm going to use the one for humanities in this case. And, well, aside from that, I normally go to my local library for this, but in this case I'll look it up on here. Another thing that I didn't really mention is that generally, even if I am doing an ultra-specific topic, I'll generally find a number of extra broad sources, just for, basically just, in the case of history especially, just to get a general context of basically the situation about which I'm writing. So in this case, I would look up, like, the Oxford History of Islam, and probably something similar to that to refer to Hellenism, like, Oxford History of Greece or something, or like, an encyclopedia. But Yeah, so I can see if it's at the library. It is. Because I do a lot of research in the library, I normally don't reserve anything. So if I see it on here, I'll probably just go try to find it immediately. Search might have been a little too broad. I doubt I'll have as much success here looking up this specifically as I would on Academic Search Complete, but when you're on a research grind, gotta try everything. And that was a fortuitous choice, because that's a book that I'm already looking for, so I can see if they have it here at the library. Oh, it's online. Okay. Well, that makes it convenient, because then I can just do it from home. Alright. So, presumably, I've got an encyclopedia. I have a book almost entirely about this specific topic that I'm doing, and I have another source that's related to that. So I'd probably go to the library after this and see if I can find anything on Hellenism. From there, I at least have a starting point to research and understand the context of the situation. And then from there, I can refer to the book I just found or one of these articles and learn more about how the two particular things that I'm researching coincided together. And, as is demonstrated in this source, how that's reared its head throughout history.